going on, man? It's bringing the business back. Another episode. This Nick got BC. Hey, what's
What's the
going on with you, man?
man? What's the word, man? Day before Turkey Day, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I've been working out so much, man. I don't even know how I'm even enjoy it like that. I'm gonna eat, obviously, but I'm not gonna eat like I would normally eat, cause man, I've been hitting the gym so hard, man. I don't wanna. I know, like we had talked earlier. You was like one day ain't gonna set me back, but I don't want to overdo it either. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? If you don't feel that you missing nothing or that you need it, man. Sometimes we eat and do all that shit just because that's the traditional thing to do, or that's the
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It's Thanksgiving, so you're supposed to pig out.
yeah,
When hey man, I ain't been on this pig out thing, man. So I eat me a plate and go sit down. So you know what I'm saying? Like you don't
yeah.
necessarily just have to pig out just because that's what we've been doing for the last 40 years of our lives. So now it's mandatory that you pig out when it comes to Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So I mean, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give me a decent little plate. You know what I'm saying? Try out everything. Eat me. Supposed to be having like a peach cobbler pound cake or something supposed to be made. So I think I'm gonna probably take a little piece
Mm.
of that.
No, I don't like sweets. I don't like fruit with my sweets.
Oh, okay.
So I don't like peach cobbler. I don't like apple pie. I
Oh,
don't
wow.
like
For real?
I don't like lemon squares. I don't like that. I don't like fruit and sweets, man. Only way that I would eat that is like banana pudding. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like I eat banana pudding, but I don't want no peach cobbler, like I say, apple pie, blueberry pie. Uh
Mm,
yeah, I don't want my sweets with
with
you know what I'm
fruit, huh?
saying, with my fruit. I don't like
Wow. I ain't know that. So you learn
yeah,
something new every day.
yeah,
Wow.
I don't eat that, man. Uh yeah, I think fruits and sweets go separate.
Hey, you learn something new every day. I've been knowing you all damn near all my life. I didn't know that shit.
I don't like the birthday cake with the strawberry filling in the middle when you cut the cake. Like it, no,
Damn, for
no. If
real?
anything, I take that out of there. Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, damn, that's crazy. Hey, well, man, while we sitting here talking about family and Thanksgiving, uh, for the people who don't know us deeply, you lost your grandma uh not too long ago, and the funeral was like 2 weeks ago. So condolences to the family, and you know what I'm saying. And I know that was somebody that was real close to you in your life. And man, and kind of like a second grandma to me as well. I mean, I from the moment I was a little shorty, I remember her being around and going over her house with you, and you know what I'm saying, and just all the different memories of her growing up as a little boy. Um,
It was
I
it was almost like we shared grandmamas
Yeah,
because
yeah,
same thing with yours. You know what
mhm,
I'm saying? Same thing with yours. Like with us going over each other's houses and stuff like that, and we had grandmother figures in our lives, and the fact that they were friends, and the fact that they lived right down the street, basically
yeah,
from each other. You know what
mhm,
I'm saying? That all of that factor in and helped with that. So
yeah,
both of our grandmothers provided a safe space for the both of us.
absolutely,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
and,
So,
and,
go
and
ahead,
it's
go ahead.
not to cut you off, it's funny that you know what I'm saying we going into this right now because like first of all, for the people that don't know, it was a quick situation. I'm gonna say, like here
Mhm,
we got a person live and well doing her own thing, and you know what I'm saying. So mishaps happen. She have a fall, and some other stuff transpired from that, and then she gone.
right,
Like all of that happened in less than 2 weeks. Just what I'm saying. So right now, and again, she passed almost a month ago now.
yeah,
I'm still in a way in total shock. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? More than anything, I'm like still in shock, like, what the fuck just happened? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And even now to think, like, it happened on the 30th. And even now, it's like a blur, like it's gone.
Yeah.
Like it came and you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like she was sick and we went through a sick period of her watching her, deteriorate or anything like that. It was
Yeah.
like a blur, bro. You
Yeah.
know. So for the most part, um, again, almost 30 days late, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good. I tell myself she was 82 years old, lived a great life, died around her children, grandchildren, a few of her siblings came in town,
Yeah.
different stuff were around her bedside, so it's like if that's the way you're gonna go, that's kind of like a perfect way to go. So for the most part, I'm okay. I just still have my moments. Like,
Yeah.
I actually had one earlier today, and I like slapped myself upside the head, like, man, why you do that? Because I was sitting up doing homework. I was sitting up doing my homework, and I don't have no idea what led me to that. I went to her Facebook page,
Hmm.
and it did something to me. Like, and I'm sitting here like, boy, you trying to focus on your homework and all. Like, why would you go do this right now?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, I'm good, but just had them type of moments.
I mean, so to piggyback off of that and to like kind of tell the people like the conversation that me and you had uh a couple days prior to her passing, we had this conversation when we was out on the football field, and when you came back, I was just, obviously I'm concerned, saying you my brother, love you and all that, what I'm saying, and just wanted to make sure you was cool. And people don't notice about me. You notice about me because we had conversations about this, but like I try not to be insensitive when it comes to the passing of people and death in general, because my viewpoint on it is it's my viewpoint. You know what I'm saying? I look at it a little different than most people as far as I understand that the moment that we are alive, it's an expiration on when we gonna have to pass away from this earth. So I look at it, I guess, in a logical way where obviously I've had people in my life that passed away and that I loved and things of that nature, but I don't mourn a long time. You know what I'm saying? Because I tend to think of uh the lessons taught, the good times spent between those people with me, and you know what I'm saying. So I think about those things like that where I don't mourn in a sense where I'm crying and I'm down. If anything, I look at it in the light of I smile when I think of those good times, those lessons learned. Like, and for you, I would just want to make sure you were okay and you was kind of in that same mindset and not mourning in a way where you allowed yourself to stop.
You know,
You know.
I think that in life, well, first of all, I'm gonna go to that not stopping. That was one of the things when we were around her bedside, and my father, my uncles, and stuff like that. And that was one of the speeches that my father actually gave. Like, man, it's really finna mess us up, but we not going through the not eating and not sleeping and the not, you know what I'm saying? He like, man, she wouldn't want that. She wouldn't want us, around here suicidal and what I'm saying, all that
Mhm.
stuff. And I was gonna say craziness, but I don't mean to disrespect anybody who is going through that or
Who
what I'm
mourns
saying,
in that way.
yeah, going that way. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna be careful with how what I say, but and he was just instrumental. Like, we're gonna check on each other. We're gonna make sure that, what I'm saying, that we okay, but we're not gonna go through the what I'm saying, like I say, almost the suicidal tendencies and things of that nature. We're not gonna go through that to the best of our ability. And I think that life and the good Lord has a way of preparing us for different stuff, man. And in 2019, I lost my auntie Cheryl. who was
Yeah.
she was my other grandmother's sister.
Yeah.
So she was like the grandmother on the other side, even though my grandmother's alive, but she lives in Mississippi.
Yeah.
So Auntie Cheryl was here in Chicago. So her home was that hub where you could stop over there anytime you want to. And boy, there's some beans in there on the stove, and you know what I'm saying, cornbread in there, or you know what I'm saying. She was that grandmother up here for all of us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And she left here, and she left in a different way. She left here. She passed away from cancer, so we did actually watch her go through the suffering process and stuff like that. Um, and like I say, we were very close to her, and I didn't know how we were gonna go through life without her. You know what I'm saying? That's how much she meant to the family and how much she held the family down on, what I'm saying, on that side or whatever, and how much, she was so fun to be around everything. So it was like, how is it how is it a such thing called life without this lady? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
and and I actually went through a very sad time. Like, I'm not gonna say depression because I don't want to claim that or anything like that, but around her passing and around whatever, just watching her pass away, we literally have to pick her up out of bed to put her in a wheelchair. Like, we were there, like we was on front line, you know what I'm saying, doing
Yeah.
our thing. We, just all of us, all the family came along, because that's how much she meant to the family.
Yeah.
And I was very sad when she passed away. Like, I found myself doing a lot of crying, doing a lot of, just angry, like, why did, what I'm saying? I was very sad with that. And again, I didn't know how I was gonna make it, you know what I'm saying? Or what is life without this lady or whatever. And now that I look back, I miss her like crazy. I think about her a lot, this, that, and other, but we making it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well,
Yeah.
and we talk about this sometimes as a family, like, man, we making it. So I'm saying all that to say that kind of prepared me for this.
Hmm.
So I know I'm gonna make it through this one. And right now it's still kind of sad to me. We laugh a little bit, but I know that I'm gonna get to the point where you're talking about where everything is gonna be the great memories, everything is gonna be laughter, everything is gonna be reflecting on the lessons and stuff like that,
Hmm.
more than it's gonna be mourning.
Yeah. I mean, mourning it's inevitable. You know, uh somebody as pivotal as a grandma, you know, uh like with Auntie Shirley, like, with grandma, grandma Cook, you know what I'm saying? Somebody as pivotal in a family like that, it's gonna be that mourning process. It's like, I try not to be insensitive to it because, like I say, my viewpoint on it is obviously you're gonna miss. Like, if something was to happen to you, of course I would miss you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm obviously I'm saying it, but I don't wish that on you or any. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I'm just saying. Of course I would miss you. You're my brother, love you, all of that. But I wouldn't allow that to for me to mourn in a way where I know you wouldn't want me to be.
Correct.
That's really my total mindset of that. Like, what would my brother want me to do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't allow myself to stop because I know you wouldn't want me to stop.
And,
You know
and
what
and
I'm saying?
not just stop life. Like, if God forbid something happened to me today, I want you to take this platform like
Right,
another, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
all right, that be your motivation. I know, bro, I want me to, you know what I'm saying, take
right.
this a whole nother level, or stuff like that. So you're 100% correct.
Yeah. So that's what motivates me when I think about death. Not that I don't mourn, because I don't want anybody to think that I don't mourn. You know what I'm saying? I'm human just like everybody else. Stuff hurt me just like everybody else. It's just that my mindset on it is a lot different. And and I just want to make sure, like in your case, I just want to make sure you was okay when we had that conversation. And then to kind of go into the funeral aspect of it, man, you had a conversation, and I was like, man, the question that I asked you was, man, how was the funeral? I mean, obviously I went, but I'm not, it's into the, like the inner talkings of everybody in the family. So I was like, man, how did the funeral go? Was it any type of drama, any type of, gossip, any type of, back and forth of any kind? And your answer was like, nah, like, it was good, and it seemed that way to me, but I just wanted to know what was your, did anything happen in the background?
No, you know what? It was a all hands on deck. Very uh we kind of came everybody came together. Like when it comes to like putting an obituary together, everybody that wanted some input had some input. You know what I'm saying? Even with the funeral arrangements. Like I'm gonna talk personally. I spoke with my auntie in particular, my auntie Carla, and because I know she will have a lot to do with the planning of it. And my grandmother got I don't even know the number, but a lot of grandchildren, a lot of great grandchildren, and four of her children. Her children are still alive. She had four children, all of them still alive. So I know that I can't take up a lot of the planning, and what I'm saying, a lot of the stuff.
Yeah,
Even though, hey, I'm number one. I'm the first grandchild, man, and
yeah, absolutely.
say everything like that. So but so I just made two requests. I said, I want to be a pallbearer. You know what I'm saying? And then from being in church with her, she would always sing "The God Be With You."
Hmm.
So I requested that be sung as the funeral is concluded.
Okay. Okay.
So as you see, both of those things happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when it was time to get the place for the repast. I assisted with that, and then we all came together and decorated the place. Like once I told them what time we can get in there or whatever the case may be, man, I look up, all the grandchildren there setting the place up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was there setting the place up. I'm like, damn, I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was gonna be it, but it was just like, okay, all hands on deck. It wasn't no, man, bro, where you at, man? We over here setting these tables up, man. Why
Mhm.
you ain't here? It wasn't none of that. It was everybody like, all right, what we need to do. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then since then, so go through the service great, everything. You know what I'm saying? And then since then, bro, you just look up, getting texts, man. You good, bro? You good, cuz? You know what I'm saying? I'm just checking on you. Hey, cuz, I love you, man. Or you know what I'm saying, man? What's going on, cuz? How you doing over there? Or my dad calling me, man. Boy, I'm just checking on you, boy. What y'all? You all right? I text my dad the other day. I was sitting at work, had a moment. Damn, dad, grandma gone, bro. He texted me back like, man, I just had one of them too. So if anything, it seems to be kind of like bringing us a little closer, or I hope it's not just for this moment. We were close anyway, but I hope it just makes us closer and makes us hold on to each other a little more, because I
Yeah.
know that that's the way she raised us, and that's the way that what I'm saying, she would want us to go. So
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of what I was wanting to get into because when I was at the funeral, the what made me emotional, to be honest with you, it wasn't like a specific thing of like mourning. Like and I did. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that I didn't have my moment of thinking about uh different situations that I've been in, different conversations that she's had with me, and different times she'd correct me, so all those things went through my head while I was there. But I think I really mourned at the fact of realizing how much love was in the building. That's what made me mourn the most. You know what I'm saying? That's, I mean, made me emotional the most. You know what I'm saying? When I did get emotional, that what made me emotional because like man, you had talked, I was like, dang man, I pulled up. I'm like, man, this thing's filled up like, you know what I'm saying? We got celebrity in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, And I mean, and I'm not trying to oversell it because obviously it's an
Mhm.
upstairs and when nobody upstairs. But what I'm saying is, for everything downstairs was pretty much filled.
Mhm.
Every seat was pretty much, you know what I'm saying, it was filled up. And it amazed me. And the reason why it amazed me is because, like, we had this conversation I was talking to, and I was like, man, you get to these funerals and it's always something, you know what I'm saying? But this funeral was filled with uh nothing but love, admiration, respect. It was inspirational, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't just a family. It wasn't just like blood family. It was church family. It was people that she encountered, that she passed by, and you know what I'm saying? All of those things was on display. You know what I'm saying? It really wasn't, I really can't even call it a funeral. You know what I'm saying? It
It's
was
a
really
celebration.
a celebration of life. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made me emotional the most.
You know the thing, and I think me and you talked about this recently. The thing, I've been blessed I've been blessed with my grandparents, right? All of my grandparents, period. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna focus on Vera and RD right now.
Yeah.
RD, my grandfather has been dead 30 years, a little bit more. He died in the end of 90, the beginning of the beginning of 91, but the end of 90.
Yeah.
And and the thing is, people still talk about him to this day. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
I still got memories of them.
Whether it was, whether I hear the whole, boy, you look just like your granddaddy, or this, or your granddaddy used to do this on the block that I live on. Hey, I'm doing bringing the business. Tell them. Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah,
you good.
so with my grandfather. So the block that I live on, what I'm saying, was the block where they owned the home at or whatever. Like, that. So when I see some of the older gentlemen that were on the block, you know what I'm saying, that knew my grandfather, that's old me, that's older men now, that's elderly men now, and I talk to them and stuff like that. They have nothing but good things to say about him. People that went to church with us when we grew up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's about leaving a legacy, bro. It's about leaving, um, a tradition, leaving that type of stuff. So he left that and still talked about 30 years later. And then now I'm going through this with my grandmother, and it's the same type of situation where
Mhm.
she's left a legacy. People talking about, man, she kept my kids. She taught me how to play the piano. She directed the choir. She fed me when I didn't have it. So you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like they tell you, you have a born date, you have a death date.
Mhm.
It's all about that dash in the middle. What did you do with that dash, bro? That's the
Right.
most important part on that obituary. What you did with
Yeah.
that dash in between. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that birth date is important to you or whatever. And then obviously when you die, this when we start to celebrate the life you had. But what are we celebrating?
Mhm.
What's up with that dash in the middle, man? What you do with that?
Yeah, and that's one thing that we talked about. One thing that I had brought up to you, cause and I'm gonna be honest with where I got it from. I got it from listening to Inky Johnson.
Who is that?
So Inky Johnson is an old college player. I think he played for Tennessee. He ended up making a tackle, and his whole left arm is now paralyzed, where he can't move his whole left arm. But he's a motivational speaker now.
Okay.
So I listened to a lot of his motivational stuff that he talked about, and he was talking about generational wealth, and he was saying how generational wealth is not only about the money that you leave behind. You know what I'm saying? The money that you leave for your kids or your grandkids or whatever. Generational wealth has to do with the legacy of your name.
Because they're gonna run through that money.
Yeah, they're gonna run through the money, but the legacy of your name is what lives on, what lives strong. You know what I'm saying? And I say the last name of Dickerson and Cook that's a strong legacy.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I'm saying? It's a generational wealth that can never go away, because when you think of a Dickerson or a Cook, it's a respect behind that,
Yeah.
and you notice that in that funeral. You notice that in the repast. You notice that, you know what I'm saying, just by how everybody came together. And like you said, it was no type of toxic stuff. It was no, bickering, man, she supposed to gave me $500. I got left this. It was none of that going on. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing but love, nothing but a celebration. And that's the true generational wealth. Like, you can get left $100 million. Like you said, you can blow through that in a couple weeks.
Yep.
But the legacy of your name and the respect that you get from that name, where if I say Cook right now, oh yeah, Vera Cook, oh yeah, oh RD Cook, oh you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That name gonna live forever.
Man, it's like an ATM machine, man. Like you got to put love in to get love out. Like you got to put grace and mercy in, or kindness and stuff like that. You got to put that stuff in the ATM. You can't go to the ATM. You ain't put no money in there. You can't go there and pull no money out.
No,
But if you shown mercy and grace and love and compassion and stuff like that to people throughout your time, that's what's going to be you. That's how you're going to be remembered.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And uh, I watched like kind of what you're saying. I can't, I spent the last 18 years in the healthcare field, in a nursing home in particular, and I was the social worker. So I watched when it was time for grandmama or mama or auntie, whoever to pass away, families act a fool, bro.
mm-hmm,
Like act a whole fool. You know what I'm saying? Where they uh where they fighting over this, or whether it's the decision making, or whatever it is. And it's a
right,
horrible situation, bro. It's a horrible situation. And
mm-hmm,
and it and it and I understand the importance of documentation, where some people, only reason some people don't have that is because people have stuff set in stone, like a
right,
will or power of attorney and stuff like that. But in this particular situation we talking about right here with my grandmother, she didn't have none of that set in stone, bro. And it's still, by the grace of God, it still flows smoothly. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
I don't want, as humans, to take the credit and be like, man, we just that good of people that's why it didn't happen. No, it was what she told us, and it was the grace of God, and
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, whatever like that, that allowed that to take place and not happen like that.
And that's why I said it's the legacy of it. You know what I'm saying? It's because it's what was taught. It was what was poured into you all. You know what I'm saying? If you pour in negativity, that's what's gonna come out of it.
Mhm.
But when that's not poured into you all, then obviously what comes out is what was put in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And and not to like harp on it like that, but uh my final words on it is uh it was an honor to know her. It was an honor to be corrected by her, like I was her own. She never treated me, and that's I give the most respect for people. Even as a child, I gave people the most respect when you treated me. You know, you don't treat me different. Like, if me and you were together, she treated me the same.
Hmm.
It wasn't like, well, this my grandson. I know he gonna, and you can do whatever you want to do because you ain't really my grandson. No, I was held to the same standard,
Correct.
and I give the most respect to people who ever done that for me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how I've always felt as a kid, as an adult. You know what I'm saying? And she always did that for me. And the second thing is, like you said, with the family, is always checking up on each other. Uh, You know I love you, my brother. You know what I'm
Most definitely.
saying?
It was definitely mutual.
And just want to let you know, man, like, man, I'm always had your back. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need, if I got it, you know what I'm saying? Just like you, man, not to put my business out there, but I need some help not too long ago. You helped me out. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing is, you know what I'm saying, go for me. You know what I'm saying? That's family, man. And that's something that's been instilled in us from the people that came before us.
And see, that's what I was going to say about instilling. It's funny you just used that word, or just period. Like, do you think that the stuff that we describing with my grandmother and what I'm saying, your grandmother, who by the grace of God is what, 95?
96.
96, excuse me.
Yeah, 96.
96 still get around better than shoot somebody 66. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? So that's a blessing, you know what I'm saying, to watch her grow gracefully. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, shout out to Grandma Lewis. But and I know like growing up, you know what I'm saying, you had certain issues where you had to, was your primary caregiver,
Yeah, yeah.
times or whatever. Now I work in the school system, and I've personally heard a grandmother say, no, that like some students, some parents passed away. The mom passed
Hmm.
away, and grandmother had to take the children in. I
Yeah.
didn't ask for these kids. I didn't do, you know what I'm saying? Like, this a grandma? This is the way grandmamas talk now? Like, I'm not used to that because
Yeah. Me
that's
neither.
not what we come from. My wife was raised by her grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's unfortunately sometimes things happen in life where grandmothers had to, grandparents or
That's
whatever
the part.
had to step up,
Hmm.
and they did it, and
Yeah.
they did it with no problems back then.
No problems at all. Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not any grandmothers nowadays or grandparents nowadays who do that type of stuff, because
Yeah.
obviously it is or whatever, but it's grandparents now are more on what I gotta do. Hey man, I gotta get up. I gotta go here. I gotta
In
do
my
this.
life. I got,
I gotta
yeah.
live my life right.
Hmm.
Them grandmothers, and in particular, but grandparents, but grandmothers in particular, set their lives to the side to pour into us.
Yeah. I
My
remember.
real quick, not to cut you off. My mother told me when we were around my grandmother's bed. My mother told me that my grandparents told her, because my dad, when I was born, my dad went to the army. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So he was going to the army, and my mom, she said when she, had me, my grandmother and my grandfather sat her down and told her, like, we know our son going to the army or whatever like that, and he doing what he can do financially, but he's not here, present, every day. And my mother said they told her, we know because they were teenagers, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like, we know you still have to live your life. You still a teenager. You still got to get yourself together. We got him.
Hmm.
And my mother has always been my mother. She's been a great mother, taking care, but with the help of them. Like, I was always with my grandparents. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And my other grandmother as well. Like, she was instrumental in my life. And when I was that young, I had my great grandparents as well. So I was, totally blessed or whatever. But my mother said my grandparents told her, like, we got them. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, raise your child, but also live your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna help you with raising this child. And so that's the
Hmm.
things that grandparents and grandmothers did at that time. So what you think about that? Like, you think that do you think it's lost? Do you think it's still out? What you think?
I mean, obviously, it's still some out here, that does it. But I just think now with the advancement of everything, everybody just trying to do them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to have time to be sitting back and sacrificing, and I say nobody, but I just mean certain people. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, yeah, I mean, I can't say nobody does it because we don't know everybody. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, yeah, it's still happening. You still get teenage pregnancies, and you still get moms who stepping up and helping take care of they kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's very instrumental in and I've been around schools too where I've seen grandmamas come up because I remember one time I was working at Urban Prep, and the mother actually she had twins, and it's funny because I didn't even know that I knew the woman. The woman actually, I went to high school with her.
Okay.
I didn't know that though. I used to always, talk to the twins, and just one day, he told me his mom name, showed me a picture of her, whatever. She seen a picture of me, and she like, man, I know him. And I said, oh man, I know her. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't really her that ever came to the school. It was the grandma.
Okay.
So quick story, and I'm gonna go on to the other thing I'm about to say. Uh, the boys wanted to try out for basketball, but they didn't have any basketball shoes. So I had just got the new Kobe's. I had the white and purple Kobe. I forgot which ones they were, but I had them, and I was like, because they Urban Prep colors was like purple or whatever. Or no, they wanted us to wear like the after school matter shirt, and it was purple. So I had the Kobe's to match the shirt. So I might have wore the Kobe's like maybe 3 times, brand new. You know how I do shoes. I wipe them off, put it back in the box. Shorty was like, man, I ain't got no shoes to hoop in. I really want to, and he was one of those problem kids. So I was like, man, I want to try to get him out of trouble, man. If he say he want to hoop, you know what I'm saying? So I gave him some shoes, but I felt bad that I gave him some shoes. He got a twin brother. I ain't get a twin brother no shoes. So I gave one of them the Kobe's, and I gave the other one some brand new Air Force Ones. Grandma comes to the school. Man, I need to talk to this officer. I need to talk to who giving it. So I get called to the office. I come to the office. I'm like, what's going on? Grandma come up like, man, I'm trying to figure out who giving them some shoes. You know what I'm saying? So I have a conversation with her. I'm like, man, look, this is what it is. He said he wanted to travel basketball. I felt bad. I gave one of them some shoes. I didn't get the other one some shoes. So I just gave both of them some shoes. I'm like, I don't want nothing from them. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I just want to help them. So she's like, well, I'm glad. I just want to meet you or whatever. Make sure what number has something. Ain't nothing behind it. We good. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I said all to say that, yeah, you still got some of them out here that's, instrumental in these kids' lives. Sadly to say, one of them did get killed, and the other one in jail. But I mean, all I could do is try my best, at that particular time. That was like over 10 years ago. But what I was about to say is about my grandma. I had a conversation with her. I don't know how long ago this was, but it wasn't too much long ago. Well, I told her, I said, man, look, I know as a kid, I didn't show you that I appreciate the things that you did for me. Because as a teenager, you always thinking about what you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
You're always looking at what somebody else have and want that or whatever like that. But I told her, I said, man, look, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you did because you didn't have to. When my mama decided to leave, you could have said, well, look, I just retired. I'm not about to take these 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? Because that would have been well in her right. But she was like, nah, she's like, I wasn't gonna let y'all go in the system. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't no thought for me. I took y'all on, I became y'all guardian, and I just let her know, like, man, I appreciate it. I never told her, when I was a kid that I appreciated it, but I told her as a grown man, like, man, I appreciate what you did because you didn't have to do that.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to sacrifice your retirement. You done worked all these years to be able to go. Now you could have traveled, could did all type of stuff you wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? But you decided not to. You took care of me and my little brother. And you also took care of my nephew, my sister's son. I'm like, you didn't have to do that. So yeah, man, it's just, like you
Yeah.
said, man, it's what we came from.
And so that's just the time we gotta pass it on, and we gotta carry on the tradition of the things that we were taught, and the morals and the values. And that's a big thing, man. That's why we see, we can go into the absent fathers and things of that nature, but the lack of morals and values and tradition and stuff like that is a big reason we see a lot of the problems that we see out here in our community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, We don't have big mama and them no more, or grandmama and them, whatever you want to call them. Like, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They not there anymore, or they not, or like we say, they doing them, or whatever reason. We were fortunate enough to even like down to the meals we receive. You know what I'm saying? Like man, good home cooking, good. You know what I'm saying? You come in the house, you got something to eat. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just that garbage all the time. You got some peas and you know what I'm saying, some
Mm-hmm.
cornbread, some beans, some, you know what I'm saying. You got some good food. You got a warm, clean bed. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Well, they taught you to make your bed, or taught you to how to wash your clothes, or how to make sure this floor is swept, or you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like that type of stuff is what's sustaining us today. You know what I'm saying? How
Yeah.
to, and obviously the love of God, you know what I'm saying? They put that in us, and instill that stuff in us to make sure that we, are God fearing, and try to follow his word as much as we can, man. A lot of that stuff came from my grandparents, bro. I wake up on Sunday mornings now, whether I go to church or not, turn on my music. My kids they want to watch TV. They want no, you know what I'm saying? Until 12 o'clock, I turn on V103 until 12 o'clock. When they start playing the regular music, this finna stay on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get up on Sunday, you got a breakfast. You got, so just a lot of stuff like that, man. That I have to credit my grandmothers. You know what I'm saying, for doing. And just one last thing I want to say about that. I always, my like I say, my other grandmother, my mother's mother lives in Mississippi. My grandma Addie,
Yeah.
and every time she comes up here, I always take a picture with the both of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With both of my grandmothers.
Yeah.
And I always put in the caption, if I place it on social media, I always put in the caption blessed. Both of my grandmothers, I'm blessed. And this, that, and the other. And I'm still blessed. First of
Yeah.
all, I'm blessed because I still have one. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
still have my grandmother here, my other grandmother here, that were very close with her as well. She was very instrumental in my life as well. You know what I'm saying? Helped raise me and everything. And then just the fact that I had them both into their 80s. You know what I'm saying? If my other grandmother was to pass now, she'd be 84 on Christmas. So my children had a chance to be around them. My wife had a chance to be around them. You know what I'm saying? To absorb and soak up some of the stuff that made me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to tell my children about them. They were
Yeah.
here to witness them, you know what I'm saying, on
Firsthand.
their own. So yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a blessing right there, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know what else to say, man. Like I said, it's been a blessing, man, to be around them. It's been a blessing to have you as a brother, man. Been a blessing to,
Good.
you know what I'm saying, all the way around, man. So I
Yes,
mean, like
sir.
you said, everything that they instilled in us, we just got to go forth and instill it and make sure it passed down.
Yes, sir.
And that's how we keep our generational wealth going strong.
Yep. I agree, man. I agree. And then like what I'm saying, moving forward, you know what I'm saying, and like probably the next session we could talk about one thing that we did discuss before, and that's a whole nother session in itself, was preparing for this type of stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and not necessarily mentally or emotionally, but from a financial
yeah,
standpoint, or you know what I'm saying, things of that nature, where we as black people, or people of color, I was going to say colors, people people
Guess your
people
Donald Trump came
uh,
out, right?
man, people of color, we don't have some of this stuff set like other races do. So we'll get into that as well. I know a little something about some things that we need to set up and stuff like that, and we can just discuss that. So
Okay. Okay.
so all right, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, everybody know where they can follow us. We've been doing this for a while. So you can always follow us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like, send it to somebody, you know what I'm saying? Uh we get into different things, man. Like, I mean, obviously we're gonna always talk about sports. We always gonna, crack jokes and do little things on here, but like me and him talked about, we gonna move into different areas of this thing, man. So follow us on Instagram. We got to get the TikTok page back up and running. So when we get that back up and running, follow us on TikTok. Man, just all social media platforms, man. Just that we own. Follow us, like, subscribe, do all of that stuff, man. We gonna be here. We ain't going nowhere. We gonna keep it moving.
For sure. Bring in the business, baby. Business.